In life, there are mistakes. There are some beautiful mistakes. There's some terribly bad mistakes. But who are we as a species if we don't learn from our mistakes? Then we're no different from something that eventually leads to its own demise. And when you repeat something like that, a mistake over and over, it leads to sickness, disease, and ultimately death. And as I go up and down the Hudson River and admire it being frozen over, can't help think of what a mistake it was for somebody to think it was a good idea to put a power plant at the mouth of the Hudson River where whales used to go up and down from the ocean into the Hudson River, and human beings would be able to harvest more oysters than you could eat. Talk about all you can eat oysters. It's right there, all up the river too. And you think about children, and I was very blessed. I got to experience whales up close, bumping the boat, this little dinghy. We would go out and I witnessed whales making love, and thought as a child to be a whale rider, one of those stories where the child becomes like an Aquaman and lives underwater for 1,000 years because they eat this magical fungus underneath the sea, and once they do so, they're able to somehow breathe underwater. And I would hear these stories about how cool, whales really are. And I read about the Pinocchio story to no end as a kid, and how he was swallowed by a whale at one point. And I imagine what the Native American indigenous children, what kind of stories they would have about whales. And then I think about the absurdity of amusement parks and kids going on rides and speedboats and jet skis and all these kinds of contraptions, and how polluted some parts of the Hudson River are. And I thought to myself, well, as a species, wouldn't it be nice if human beings learned from our mistakes and restored our Mother Earth the way it was originally before we as a species came to contaminate it, which just happened very recently in the course of history of our species being alive on this earth, which is only a few million years. So I feel like I'm making this video because I have to. Be on my side, I'll be on your side. There ain't no reason for you to hide. It's been so hard driving all alone when you could be taking me for a ride. La, 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 la. She could drag me over the rainbow and send me